All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises and glory and honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Ruel. Peace and blessings and citations to the hopeful elect, the Bayat Dawadah, the house of David. All right, so as you know, you heard DJ Trump, Nero 47. He said, "Are we talking about winding down? The war." You know what? Listen, they lying. They want to get that oil over there on that island, man. You see, but Iran is not trying to hear that, man. They're not trying to hear that madness that he's talking about. See, this is why you never trust your enemy, man. You see, because they sending them troops over there to go and get a hold of that island, man. You see, but let me get you this here scripture. Matter of fact, let me get you two scriptures, right? And then we're just gonna play this here. This right here. It says Israel's decades-long policy of assassinating Iran's leaders. You see, so this is why you never supposed to trust your enemy, man. All right. So this is Sirach 12:10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him." And it says, "And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away." You see? It says, "Sit him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, and neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat." And it says, "And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith." You see? Let's go down here. Let's jump down. It says, okay. Let's read verse 15. It says, "For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaks sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit, and he will weep with his eyes. But if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance." All right, so let me get you Micah, right? Because as you can see now, Nero 47 said they were devising a plan. So let's go here in Micah real quick, right? Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage." You see that? All right. So this is what the mind thought, right? In the mind processing of these devils, it's always violence in the midst, man. It's always some type of mind processing of violence. You see? Excuse me. They may talk about, all right, to your face, but it's always something in the back of their mind where they say, "Oh man, now we're going to have to bring violence. We're going to have to bring death." You see? Because this man is never satisfied. Okay, let me get you Habakkuk real quick. Habakkuk 2 and verse number 5, it says, "Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home." That's right, he always in somebody else's land, stealing, robbing, and raping, and pillaging. All right, "Who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death," you see, "and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." All right, okay, so now let's go play this here, and we're going to let you hear this, and we're just going to close, all right? This is in Al Jazeera, the Al Jazeera news, because you got this. You got to go to news like this, man, and you got to go to many different other platforms, because you got all the Babylon the Great's backwash news. A lot of times they number Operation Mockingbird, man. All right, so let's play this here, and then we just gonna close.
Day joins us now for the Israeli perspective. You're in Ramallah, in the occupied West Bank. Noor, just hours after Donald Trump said that he was considering winding down, his words, the war against Iran, Israel's defense minister said that attacks on Iran on their end will continue on an even greater scale. Listen to this.
This week, the intensity of the strikes to be carried out by the IDF and the US military against the Iranian terror regime and the infrastructure on which it relies will rise significantly. The campaign led by US President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will continue. We are determined to keep leading the offensive against the Iranian terror regime, to behead its commanders and thwart its strategic capabilities until every security threat is eliminated.
Nor the Israeli defense minister saying that the Israeli and American campaign is going to continue. How do you interpret those statements?
Well, Sarah, in Israel, the assessment is that this war could end abruptly if the U.S. president decides so. And so what is happening is that Israel is maximizing benefit in the time that it has left. So it is going after the foundations of the regime in Iran, or the system of government in Iran. It is not hitting, for example, the assets, the nuclear sites,
And as you can see, look, it says President Donald Trump says the U.S. has won war in Iran, but wants to help secure the Strait of Hormuz. Right, because they want to take over the whole oil. They want to take over the oil, man. All right, they want to take over the resources, the oil. They want to grab up They want to grab up the banks, the central banks, and everything of that nature. They want to try to basically. What they really wanted to do was set up a puppet leader. All right, but they couldn't get that done. You see? So these devils, man, they always got something in the midst. That's why I read you Micah 2:1. All right, let's continue on.
Ballistic missiles and so on. It is focusing more on hitting leaders, on hitting even checkpoints of internal security and so on, because the military and intelligence community in Israel says that Israel has to maximize benefit while it still has the American go-ahead and American involvement.
Iran been fucking them up. You see? Talking about, well, we won, we winning the... Iran be fucking y'all up, man. All right? And they've been doing it strategically. In a strategic, mind-thinking, calculated battle, man. All right? Because that's what these what the Carmanians is all about, man. You see? The Persians, man. Elamites, man. All right?
In the war, because as soon as Trump says this war is over, it will be extremely difficult for Israel to maintain any kind of military posture with Iran.
And Noor, while this joint U.S.-Israel military campaign continues, Israel has been focusing on eliminating, assassinating Iran's leaders, political leaders, military leaders, intelligence, security, really across the board. It's something that you've been looking at in quite some depth. What have you found?
All about the Greater Israel Project, huh? You see that? All about the Greater Israel Project. Okay?
Right. I mean, this is part of a policy that has made Israel's spy agency notorious, conducting thousands of attacks against people of all nationalities across the globe. And even though there are questions as to whether this policy of assassinations really works, it is something that Israel has been practicing since its establishment in 1948. We've prepared this report for you. Take a look. Cries for revenge grow louder in Iran. Hundreds of thousands mourn high-ranking figures killed in Israeli strikes just weeks after the assassination of the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Israel promises they won't be the last. They were also not the first. Israel has used political assassinations since its inception, starting with Swedish diplomat Folke Bernadotte, killed by a Zionist armed group known as the Sterngang in 1948. Over the
goddamn gutter rats, man. All these damn gutter rats.
decades, Israel has carried out thousands of covert and public assassinations around the world. The Mossad, its spy agency, stood behind many of those operations, which included abductions, hit squads, bombings, and even poison. In the 1960s, the Mossad unleashed Operation Damocles, targeting German scientists working with Egypt, led by Jamal Abdel Nasser, to develop its missile capability.
And I put up a video on the shot, or when they put up on Masada, right? And then they set up the puppet leader, the Shah, in Iran, which was draining their resources of oil and all of that, man. I put up a whole video on that, man. You see? Bunch of damn devils, man.
In the 70s and 80s, Israel assassinated dozens of Palestinians, intellectuals, including author Ghassan Kanafani, and diplomats such as Mahmoud al-Hamshari, as well as other prominent figures like Khalil al-Wazir. The targeted killings accelerated after the year 2000, claiming the lives of many well-known activists and high-profile political figures in the occupied West Bank and Gaza. Among them, PLO leader Abu Ali Mustafa in 2001, and Hamas founder Sheikh Ahmed Yassin in 2004. Palestinians have long maintained that Israel was behind the mysterious illness and subsequent death of President Yasser Arafat. Israel is also accused of assassinating dozens of Iraqi and Iranian scientists over the years. By 2023, state-sponsored killings had reached industrial scale. Hundreds of Palestinian journalists, artists, academics, and doctors were targeted, often with their families. During the war on Gaza, Israel assassinated senior Hamas leaders in Gaza, Beirut, and Tehran. It also killed Hezbollah's longtime leader, Hassan Nasrallah, and just days later, his favored successor, along with other senior officials. Now Israel has removed political approvals needed for assassinations, authorizing the army to target any Iranian or Hezbollah leader when the opportunity arises. But questions remain, though, as to whether all these killings will make Israel safe as its leaders claim. History suggests otherwise. Nooradi, Al Jazeera, Ramallah, Palestine.
All right, so with that, we're going to give all praises and glory and honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Marakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone Ruel. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, the Bayat Awadah, the house of David. Kwam Yasha Allah, Abba Ball, Shalom.